Hello everyone, I'm Tam and I'm back with another spurious dish. Today we have some pork fat. So not pork belly, not bacon, just the fat of the pork. Pretty much just the fat of the pork, the skin of it. Yeah, about 1 pound of pork fat and a bunch of other veggies here. We are going to try to make some pork fat soup. Chop these into about 1/2 inch cubes, roughly, so kind of like spoon size. And these are leeks. They're leeks. These leeks should add a bit of aroma. And then you have some mushrooms here. Also add a bit of aroma. These mushrooms, I think, will brown up, become kind of caramel, really nice, kind of brown, nice brown golden color. I have some like aromatics for the aroma, like bay leaves and star anise. I may not use those. It depends how well the leeks and the mushroom kind of flavor the soup. I have beef tallow, which I'll use to kind of like fry up the pork fat so it becomes crispy. And that's the plan. You can use butter if you want to. My beef tallow is nearing expiration, about 2 weeks out before it expires, so I'm trying to use it up. that's the main reason why I'm using this. You might want to use like pork fat like oil. I think it's called lard, because that'll probably combine well with the actual pork fat. Beef fat plus pork fat may not flavor has well together, may not pair well together. However, beef fat is really good for frying because it has a high smoking point, so it won't release smoke as you cook higher temperatures. So it's safer for higher temperatures, which makes it easier to fry things with. So your smoke alarm won't yell at you. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that's the plan. So I'll come back when these pork fats are washed and and cut into 1/2 inch cubes. I'm going to cut these leeks, these leeks here. I'll probably slice them like so for leeks, for those who have not used leeks, you cut here and then you cut here. So this is bitter, doesn't do much for you flavor wise. I guess it's nice to chew on. You could probably save that for like making a veggie broth, because there's still some nutrients here and a bit of flavor. Most of the flavor and stuff is here. This is, I don't think, edible. You can also save this to make your veggie broth. So these are that's something you can do with that. Once I cut these out, once I cut this piece out, I'm going to cut along the circle in half, and that should do it. I don't want to cut it smaller into quarters. If I cut it into quarters, the pieces may be too small. And also when I cook it with the beef tallow, it may like shrivel up even more. If I do half a circle, that's still like 1 spoon size. So when I cook it, it should be kind of the same. So the idea is that when you get a spoonful, you also get a spoonful of the soup broth, pork fat, and also the some of the leeks in 1 spoon. The mushroom, I think the mushroom I'll probably just kind of dice it. So kind of just so this part is also inedible. It's just kind of that part. Just cut that out. Boop. And then kind of just slice it like maybe like 1 inch long, because this also be kind of like this will be kind of sautéed as well with the beef tallow. So it's gonna shrivel up a little bit. So still about like 1 spoon size, like maybe like half a spoon size is what I'm going for. And I'll come back and then we can begin the frying and sautéing processes. The veggies are now cut up about half semicircles. So semicircles for the leeks. Semicircles right along the axis for leeks. Mushrooms about like 1 inch thick slice along the length of the mushrooms. Pork fat about half an inch cubes roughly. And I have about 4 tablespoons of tallow already good to go. So let's just start cooking right now. Let me put the phone to the side right here. To the side, stationarily. Don't move on me. Okay. Alright, so now add in the pork fat. Put it on low heat. Because this is fat, that's fat. If you put it in on high heat, it will splash right in your face. Lower it down gently and do this gently, just gently. Just gently. See if it does it. Okay. So what we're trying to do here with the pork fat on low heater, pork fat is try to like to fry it up a little bit, to get it kind of fried and toasty. Move it all around so that way the oil has a chance to connect with everything. Move it around so that way the oil coats everything. And we want to like try to fry this up so it's kind of crispy. So when you bite into it, it's a bit crispy. And as you fry this up, the pork fat flavor will also release into the oil, so they'll combine as well. So you have like a nice kind of like you'll have a more rich fat to make the broth with. So I'm cooking this to like low, like a very low heat, because I want this to kind of slowly render the fat out and also start to fry, gently fry. If you fry this on high heat and you were not quick enough, it'll probably stick to the pan and ruin your pan. So just do it gently and slowly, like medium to low, low to medium, and just let this kind of simmer out. So when that starts to fry up, we'll then add in the leeks. And after the leeks, we'll add in the mushrooms, because the leeks will cook quicker than the leeks will cook slower than the mushroom. For example, this probably takes like 8 minutes. That probably takes maybe like 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll add this in, kind of brown it up a little bit, and then we'll add in the last ingredient and kind of brown that up. So the leeks and the mushroom, the leeks and the fat should be kind of crispy, and the mushroom should be kind of brown, just for the color, so it looks a bit nice in the soup. And then we'll actually put into the pot to make a broth and soup out of this. They look pretty crispy, starting to crisp anyway. Nice golden brown, a lot more fat now, like about double the fat. So I guess in just pure fat oil, it's about like 8 tablespoons of fat, not including the actual fat physically. So anyway, let's add in the leeks now. The leeks, I'll add the leeks in. So all the way down, let it kind of chill for a little bit so it doesn't like, because right now it's still kind of hot. And just slowly add the leeks in. Yep, like that. Gently, doesn't splash your face. Gently add the leeks in. Just the leeks. We're not adding mushrooms yet, just leeks. Only the leeks. Anyway. And same routine, move it around. Make sure it's kind of like all over the place with the oil. So it kind of like evenly coats all the oil. Pull out looks really nice actually. The pork fat looks really nice. The solid pork fat. I'll show you a little bit. Let me just move around here. Move around so it's kind of even distributed. Evenly distributed. Like that. So turn it back to around medium, around low. Turn it back up a little bit. Okay, so I think it should be kind of coated now. Kind of coated. All right. Like that. Okay. Now you can see the pork fat is a bit golden now, kind of nice. I think the leeks absorb some of the oil, so the pork fat was pushed out, and you can see how crispy it is right now. Anyway, so that's the pork. That's the leeks. We're also going to try to like fry these up a little bit. So let it cook on like lowish, and kind of let it do that. Same idea. How you cook it on low, the flavor of the leeks, the flavor of the leeks should merge with the fat. So now the fat has like a nice like leek flavor to it. Has the leeks also fry up as well. So 2 birds with 1 stone is what I'm trying to say. So that's probably too much. Maybe like a little bit more. Move it around every now and then so it doesn't stick to the pan. And I'll come back when I'm ready for the next part. So the leeks are much more tender. They're not super crispy. I think it's because there's too much water in them. I would need to turn the heat up pretty high to kind of make them crispy. As long as they're tender, I think that's okay. Crispy is just a nice texture to have. All right, so last ingredient is going to be the mushroom. All right, mushroom. Same thing. Turn off the heat, or keep it on very low. And then you want to do this. Put the mushrooms in. And we're also going to same process here. Mushrooms in. Mushroom right there. Mushrooms. Here they are. Same process. About medium to low. Move around. That way it has time to stick to the broth and then stick to this oil there. Smells pretty good. It smells like pork and leeks here. The mushrooms you give a nice kind of earthy flavor. So move around. Same thing. This. Right there. Like kind of go down there a little bit more. Alright, so it kind of breaks down nice and easy. Alright, nice and easy. A little more. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. If you're wondering, I actually cut my hand a little bit. So I made a band-aid using like paper towel and plastic wrap. So be careful in the kitchen. Don't rush. So this is what it is, and let this kind of simmer, and it should start to brown, similar to the leeks here. The mushrooms should start to brown as well. Separate these clumps into smaller bits. Stir it every now and then you so at the end, crispy pork fat, semi-crispy leeks, brown color mushrooms is what we're going for. All right, so the mushrooms aren't exactly brown. However, as they are right now, kind of like semi-brown. It looks appealing, so I'm gonna keep it as is. The point was that it looks kind of nice, so that's what I'm going with. All right, now time to make the actual soup itself. So that was like the part one. Now part two is turning this, aka like a sauce saute thing, into a soup. So you just put it into the pot here. Oh shit! Oh, sorry, language. Let me try to be careful. Yeah, very careful. It's a lot of oil, so be careful because oil sticks to your clothes and it's hard to kind of take off. You want to do this very patiently. Patience is a great virtue in anything you do. Could be sport, could be academics, doesn't matter. Just nice and slow here. Nice and slow. Okay. Alright, let me just like move it around a little bit. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to add the same amount of liquid. So probably about 2-inch top. I think that's probably like 2 cups of liquid. Yeah, it should be like 2 cups. So let me add 2 cups of liquid to this to make it into an actual soup. 2 cups of liquid here. So that's about 2 cups of liquid. Roughly 2 cups of liquid. Right there. Turn it low. We want it kind of simmer for a little bit, so that the veggies can still cook a little bit, and as well as the pork, so everything kind of like finishes off. Let me see what the actual kind of soup tastes like. See, just a little bit of the broth. Oh wow, this is very porky, very fat, extremely fatty. Tastes kind of gross right now because this is a lot of fat. There's way too much fat. Yeah, there's a lot of fat. An easy solution is to add salt. About like 2 teaspoons of salt to work. Because right now it's just it's just very fatty, very fatty. Extremely fatty. All right, I found some salt, just iodized salt. See, 1 teaspoon here. So 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of salt. That should neutralize a lot of the fatty flavor. Right now it just tastes very fatty, like extremely fatty. Lots of like fatty flavor here. It's here. Yeah, that's a lot more bearable. Still very fatty. Another teaspoon. That's about 2 teaspoons of salt. And just move around. See what else is missing right now. 2 teaspoons of salt here. Oh yeah, it's a lot better. Yeah. Now the fat is not has strong. It's a lot more bearable. It's actually perfect. A little bit perfect. Yeah. Maybe like a little bit of citrus lime will be like the coup de call, the kind of icing on a cake. Or like I know like a teaspoon would be perfect to this. Let's see it for a moment, one more time. Yeah, I think I'll add another teaspoon. So about three teaspoons. That's a teaspoon. So three teaspoons, and that will be good. That would neutralize the extremely fat flavor here. Extremely fatty. Go around. Oh yeah, the salt is a bit more strong now, but that's okay. In terms of taste, I think it's pretty good now. Yeah, it's extremely fatty. Anyway. I'll let this kind of simmer for maybe like 5-10 minutes, so not too long, and then I'll make myself a plate. This is probably like 4 serving sizes, honestly, because it's gonna be so fatty, the broth. All right, so this is the final product, our pork fat soup. See here, nice glistening 360 close up. Well, there, that's the get a nice thumbnail, like probably right here, right there, yeah. Okay, so Leeks, mushroom, pork fat, a bit of salt, 3 teaspoons of salt. Just put the phone down so I can actually test this, see what it tastes like. All right, smell. Very heavy in pork. You can smell a bit of the leeks, so it has like a bit of like a forest green, kind of like grass smell to it. All right, see what the broth tastes like. How's this? Just the broth. See how good the broth is. Just the broth, only broth. So it has pork heavy. Oh, my nose. I went too far in. Oh, it's a bit embarrassing. Has a kind of like lime smell to it. I'm guessing that's from the leeks. Slight lime smell. Oh, it tastes really good. The salt definitely sorry. The salt neutralizes a lot of the fattiness of the pork, and it kind of enhances the flavor of the leeks and the mushroom a little bit. Yeah, so it tastes pretty good, pretty healthy. Yeah, that's a really healthy broth. The pork fat is definitely more mellow now. The only thing that's kind of weird about this broth is near the end of it. Near the end, there is a kind of pure fat taste. When you sip on this broth, at the front of it is the pork broth, kind of mellow. In the middle is like the lime and not the lime, the leeks and the mushroom, mostly just leeks. And near the end, there's like this kind of like tasteless fat texture. I think that's from the tallow. I used beef tallow. If I use lard, which is pork fat, that would definitely meld better. Or butter. I think butter would also meld well with the front of the pork fat, so you wouldn't get the kind of back end weird fat that's not really tasting like anything in the back. So that's kind of like something I noticed. other than that, it's very healthy. Like just this broth alone, just a bowl of this size with the broth alone, no fat, no veggies. If you were to just drink that, that could probably keep you full for like 4 hours, just as much, because it's so dense, heavy, and has a kind of like a nice color profile to it. All right, the soup with everything now, so veggies and everything else. Oh, it's pretty nice. So you can see that. Yeah, it's very nice, yeah. Mm. 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 That's really good. Yeah. Oh. Mm. 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 You know it's good when the person who made it is just eating it constantly. Anyway, not to tell my own horn, but yeah, it's really good. Like the only thing that I'm not happy with is the pork fat itself. The kind of fatty part here. The pork fat itself. It's kind of like it's not super crispy. It's kind of like still mellow. If this was crispier, like it was crispier like chicharron, I think the pork broth, the pork soup would overall taste a lot more interesting. Because right now the pork fat is kind of squishy and mellow, like a marshmallow kind of, and it's not really adding anything more to the kind of broth itself, because the broth plus the mushroom plus the leeks, so broth plus veggies only, is already kind of mellow. To add in to add in more mellowness, like a marshmallow to it, it's kind of overkill. It's like adding too much like honey, you know, like after a certain point, it's kind of too sweet, and it kind of turns you off. If the pork fat was more crispy, like a bit crunchy, I think that would contrast with the mellowness texture of the soup plus veggies, and so you have a more interesting bite. Each bite you take is more interesting and meaningful. Put it that way. Some of the pork fat has muscle. So see, this is muscle. It's not really fat. It's kind of muscle. So it's a bit more firm. And you can immediately tell what a huge difference the firmness in the muscle of the pork with the broth and veggies taste in comparison to just the physical fat plus the broth with the veggies. It's definitely way better, because there's something there for you to chew on even after the broth goes down. So it's way more interesting. That's what I'm trying to say. When you bite into that, yeah, the pork fat has it right now kind of metal. Is not on par. Not really that interesting. It tastes a bit like bone marrow kind of the texture. So yeah, but if it was crispier, this would taste a lot better. All right, and that is my pork fat soup. As I said, it can probably make 4 servings because of how heavy it is, the broth. So for sure, that could definitely fill up another 3 people easily. Okay, everyone, have a good day.